There was a time when owning a spoon meant you were important. Not comfortable, important. Long before forks were debated, long before knives were refined into table etiquette, there was one object that quietly shaped how humans ate, healed, measured, feared, and defined status: the spoon. Today it feels harmless, rounded, familiar, soft. It rests in drawers. It clinks gently against ceramic bowls. It doesn't demand attention. But for most of human history, the spoon was not background noise. It was survival. The earliest spoons were not metal. They were shells collected from riverbanks, carved wood shaped by hand, animal horn hollowed and polished, even bone. Archaeologists have discovered spoon-like tools dating back thousands of years, long before cities rose from soil. Because before kingdoms, before writing, before trade routes, there was hunger. And hunger requires gathering. Unlike knives, which cut, unlike forks, which pierce, the spoon gathers, it carries, it preserves, it allows liquid to become nourishment. And liquid is where survival often lives. In ancient Egypt, spoons were carved from ivory and decorated with elaborate symbols. Some were shaped like swimming women. Others resembled sacred animals. They were not merely functional. They were status objects. In Rome, silver spoons appeared at elite banquets. The wealthy dined differently from the poor. The metal of your spoon revealed your place in society. To eat with silver was to signal refinement. To eat with wood was ordinary. To eat with hands was common. The spoon became a quiet declaration of rank. In medieval Europe, most people owned only one spoon. It was personal, carried from home to feast. Guests brought their own spoons because hosts did not provide them. Your spoon was yours, a possession, a necessity, a guarantee that you could eat. And if you were wealthy, your spoon was silver. Silver had value beyond utility. It could be melted, sold, traded, passed down. To be born with a silver spoon was not a metaphor. At baptisms, wealthy families gifted silver spoons to newborns. It symbolized protection, security, inheritance. A child entering life already buffered by wealth. Language remembers this. Even today, we repeat the phrase without remembering the object that inspired it. But the spoon was not only about wealth, it was about fear. As kingdoms expanded, assassination became subtle. Poison was the silent weapon of courts. Kings feared their kitchens. Queens feared their wine. Meals were guarded rituals. And the spoon became a frontline defense. Royal tasters used them first. Because the spoon touches everything. If poison was present, it would travel directly from vessel to mouth. Some myths claimed silver spoons could detect toxins, that they would tarnish, react, warn the powerful. Science tells us silver does not reliably change color in the presence of most poisons. But belief matters. The fear shaped behavior. The spoon became more than metal. It became protection and suspicion. In some courts, spoons were locked away, counted, guarded. Their disappearance could signal betrayal. The spoon had become political. Then there is religion. In Eastern Orthodox Christianity, communion is delivered with a spoon, one vessel, one instrument, shared among many. Faith overrides fear. Trust overrides contamination. The spoon becomes sacred. In other cultures, spoons entered rituals of healing. Medicine was measured in spoonfuls. Herbs were administered by spoon. Even today, we measure dosage in teaspoons and tablespoons. Domestic life standardized by its shape. Measurement is power. And the spoon quietly defined proportion. As empires expanded, spoons traveled. Trade routes carried metal spoons across continents. Colonial expansion introduced European spoon design into other cultures. In some places, it replaced traditional eating tools. In others, it merged. Cultural exchange often hides in small objects. The spoon adapted. Deep bowls for soup-heavy diets. Shallow bowls for rice. long handles for communal pots, wide spoons for stew. The object evolved with cuisine. As industrialization arrived, spoons transformed again. Factories stamped thousands at a time. Uniform, identical, affordable. The personal spoon faded. The communal drawer appeared. Mass production democratized access. But it also erased individuality. Before, your spoon had marks, wear, history. After factories, spoons were replaceable, disposable, invisible. Industrialization does that to objects. It strips them of identity. But in moments of scarcity, spoons regain meaning. In war zones, prisoners carved spoons from scrap wood. In workhouses, rations were measured in spoonfuls. In famine, a spoonful of broth could mean survival. Refugees have carried spoons across borders. Because even when homes disappear, the need to eat does not. The spoon remains. Even in medicine, the spoon played quiet roles. In the 19th century, doctors prescribed cod liver oil by spoon. Bitter remedies forced into compliance. The spoon delivered both healing and discomfort. Children feared it. Parents trusted it. It bridged domestic life and medical authority. And then there is etiquette. The spoon changed posture, table manners, behavior. How one holds a spoon reflects class. How one sips soup signals upbringing. Objects shape social performance. Dining became theater. The spoon, an actor. In aristocratic circles, even the sound of spoon against porcelain was monitored. Noise signaled lack of refinement. Silence signaled discipline. All from a curved piece of metal. It does not cut. It does not stab. It does not threaten. But it organizes behavior. Few objects have achieved such universal reach. Every civilization has some form of spoon. Few objects cross cultures so completely. From wooden ladles in rural villages to ornate silverware in royal courts. From sacred rituals to prison camps. From infant feeding to final meals. The spoon has been present, persistent, unassuming, and yet almost entirely overlooked. We celebrate swords. We memorialize crowns. We build monuments to war machines. No one builds monuments to spoons, because the spoon does not demand credit. It simply gathers. It sustains. It delivers. And sometimes, quietly, it reveals who we are. Today, it rests in your kitchen. Metal in a drawer. Anonymous. Replaceable. But for thousands of years, this small curved object defined survival, wealth, ritual, etiquette, medicine, suspicion, and status. Not loudly, not violently, but constantly. If you enjoy uncovering the hidden history behind everyday objects, subscribe to ObjectLore. There's more hiding in plain sight. Every object has a story. Most were forgotten. This was one of them. Welcome to ObjectLore. You already know the object. You don't know the story.